Welcome back everyone. Today we're diving into the recent Soulblight Gravelords Army review, the Deathrattle Army set, which coincided with the announcement of a new spearhead for the Soulblight Gravelords, and we're very excited about both. Before we get started, let's enjoy the official video review by Games Workshop first. The annual Las Vegas Open Show by Games Workshop always has something for us Warhammer fans, and it really doesn't matter if you're into Age of Sigmar, 40k, The Old World, or all of it actually, along with the many fantastic and fully fleshed out subsystems of the franchise, of course. Today though, I want to briefly touch on both the new army set and the second Soulblight Gravelords Spearhead that has been announced by Games Workshop, the Deathrattle Tomb Host. Now, I do need to brush up on my Soulblight Gravelords knowledge, but ultimately I'm so excited about this addition to the range. We have already seen Games Workshop getting pretty busy over the past couple of months, adding to the Iron Jaws Big Mob Spearhead introduced in January 2025, and the Raiders of Darkov, which were introduced in November 2024. So, in a word, that's all very exciting, and besides we now have 4 confirmed factions that are running 2 spearheads each, namely the Stormcast Eternals, Skaven, Slaves of Darkness, and just now the Soulblight Gravelords. And I'm going to venture hazard, a guess here. I'm thinking that this is not the end of spearheads we're going to see throughout the year. I think Games Workshop are actively working on getting every faction out there up to 2 spearheads at least. But hey, I'm getting a bit carried away here, so let's first focus on the Deathrattle Army set review. The new box will feature 5 Barrow Knights, 20 Barrow Guard, 1 White Lord, an exclusive Battletome along with 55 cards. The Battletome also comes with the signature artwork of the Barrow Kingdoms. So if you're a fan of that, I would definitely suggest get the army set just so that you can get the unique and exclusive, as it turns out, Battletome. And it does shape to be pretty good value for what it contains, with quite a few units that you can stock up on, whether you love the faction, want to hone your painting skills, or just, much like myself, don't mind adding more skeletons to your pile of grey. Now, for the Spearhead specifics, Games Workshop have been kind enough to give us a sneak peek of that as well, with the smaller format army to consist of a White King, Barrow Knight, Barrow Guard Retinue, and 2 units of 10 Deathrattle skeletons. It's worth noting that the Deathrattle Army set will not contain all the units you need to put together the Deathrattle Tomb Host Spearhead. I'm presuming that this is going to be a separate box. Now, what we know from the official review is that the Spearhead models have been touched up ever so slightly, but the designers have been faithful to the original look as well. So there should not be any inconsistency between your shambling armies of the undead. The goal here is basically to have an all new kit that is, easier to build, which has been, I dare say, a huge focus of what Games Workshop have been doing for the past couple of years. And I've really personally seen people say, hey, this is not so bad. It's push fit, we can get it in. And then I'd venture and show them that they can also, glue them together just to achieve this, seal any gaps they might have in the models otherwise. But I would say that Games Workshop have gotten really good at simply doing what? Doing better pushing models, and I appreciate that. That's good, as Games Workshop have been consistently trying to organize their spruces a bit better and just generally make them more accessible, especially with the big box releases. But do we know anything about the Spearhead? Not so much, but we do know a bit. The Deathrattle skeletons are featured in the already existing Soulblight Gravelords Spearhead, the Bloodcrave Hunt, We also have 2 units of 10 Deathrattle skeletons each in there. And basically, they're a standard infantry unit, sort of a fodder unit. I don't know, much like the Clan Reds or 3 Guild Steel Helms. They have an attack characteristics of 2. They hit and wound on 4+. No rend characteristic, unfortunately. And they only contribute 1 damage to the damage pool if they are successful through their hit and wound rolls and so on. Now, they do have a ward of 6+, which I think is decent. It's pretty good. But unfortunately, they only have a save on 5+. Now, the special ability here is the Skeleton Legion, which reads as follows.
As necromantic energies blanket the battlefield, long dead warriors stagger to their feet once more, eye sockets aglow with killing light.
The effect here is that for each slain model from this unit, you make a Legion roll of d6, and for each 5+, you return 1 slain model to this unit. Well, the Deathrattle Tomb Host will also benefit from this for sure, and I think this new Spearhead will most likely focus on necromancy and resurrection more so than anything else, which is fun to see. As we know, the Barrow Kingdoms are constantly resurrecting the undead, and it does not have to be just some random human skeletons. They've been resurrecting dwarves, dwardians, and so on. And it's been the basis of some pretty cool short stories and books. Anywho, to be honest, I personally really want to see an army of the undead that is continuously swarming the battlefield and just instilling that sense of impending doom. And inevitability that the opponent will be washed away under the torrent of rattling skeletons. So, yeah, that's a bit of a personal fetish I have for the undead, and hopefully it will be satisfied in the upcoming Spearhead. Besides all of this, the Soulblight Gravelords are going to get a standard Battletome that you can purchase separately if you're not, if you don't want to go into the whole Barrow Kingdoms army set with the unique art and so on and so forth. There is no reason for you to get the Barrow Guard art and so on. You can just buy the separate tomb, Battletome, and just get the rules there. Moving on, the new Spearhead is not all there is, and if you're already well versed in the Soulblight Gravelords history and are familiar with the existing lineup, well, there are a few surprises for you as well. So Games Workshop have introduced the model of Prince Vordry, the master of the Crimson Keep. Vordry's story is that of a bold and decisive leader within the upper caste of the Soulblight vampire aristocracy, who in his arrogance dared to challenge Nagash, the supreme lord of the undead, taking up arms against him. Well, this act of defiance cost him dearly, proved to be his downfall. And so rather than being destroyed, though, Nagash thought, imposed an internal curse on him and bound Prince Vordry in perpetual servitude. Now, this is, a grim fate for one who sought to defy the immortal Lord of Death, but hey, such is life. So anyway, the model looks really great, and well, I'm going to bet that some of you can't wait to start painting it, but oh my, I think I'll stick to the Spearhead here instead. Another cool model revealed as part of the lineup expansion is the Vampire Lord on Nightmare Steed, who looks truly awesome, with Deathrattle skeletons rising from the ground beneath the hooves on his steed. And yeah, it just looks so thematic. I mean, I'm not big on like leader models and such. I like the swarm type armies that do not distinguish each other. But I think that it's a hugely nice detail to just have these skeletons like rising from the ground beneath his hooves and so on. And besides all of this, we also have a new Black Library omnibus, fittingly called Masters of Death. Thank you, Games Workshop. Thank you, Black Library. The omnibus collects 3 novels, namely Neferata, Mortarch of Blood, Neferata, Dominion of Bones, and Dynasty of Monsters. Plus, we get 3 short stories, to wit, The Threshold, Obsidian, and The Dance of the Skulls. Above all else, I'm the most excited about the addition of the second Soulblight Spearhead that I can share with new players, in particular in my community. What about you? Are you happy with this review? Have you given it any thought yet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our deep dives into the Age of Sigmar and of course miniature wargaming. Until next time, and happy wargaming!